Hi, I'm back. So I have finished running stitches along these lines like we had talked about. And if you can see this, we've got double stitches. It took me about an hour and a half to do these double stitches all the way. And again, they meet in the middle. And I should say too that for each of these rows of running stitches, I used a doubled up thread, so that just makes it stronger when you pull it. So all the knots are on the ends, and then the loose threads that we're going to pull in a moment are on the middle. And also you'll probably notice that I couldn't resist adding some resist. Bad Shibori joke. So I created some resists here with some beads and some flat marbles that I bound in using these small little rubber bands. And I'm not going to go into that. These are the little rubber bands that I use, but at any rate, you can see how it works. It's important if you're going to do that combination that you do your stitches first, but don't pull the threads, then add the beads, because those will distort the shape of the fabric, so you want to get your stitches in first. Then we're going to pull the stitches last. So that's what we're going to do right now. So I'm just going to turn this over. And so we have this mess of stitches of threads here, and I'm just going to separate them. So right now in my hand I've got the 2 rows of threads that go like that. So I'm going to start to pull those. And as it starts to pucker up, I'm going to make sure that the poofy part goes to the front. Now I'm going to find the other ones. And then on this side, see, it's important to just be patient and careful with it. Sometimes the stitches at the very end here don't want to cooperate, and if that's the case, then we can deal with that later. Well, it looks like I'm getting it. So I'm going to pull those aside, and look at these. All right. that, let's make sure we've got everything. So I'm pulling the poofy parts out in front. And I'm pulling these as tight as I can. And then I have a lot of extra thread here. So I'm going to trim that at a reasonable length. And then I'm just going to try to pull this as tight as I can. And tie it into a knot. And all of my knots are on the back of the work. I'm just giving one last tug to the little poofy bits here. And voila! Our scarf is ready for us to begin the dyeing process. So see how tightly we've gathered these stitches? Those areas are going to resist the dye because they're so tight that the dye can't get into these spaces very well. So that ends our session for today, and next time we come back we're going to do the dyeing, which is when it gets really good. So I look forward to seeing you next time.